Hey, welcome back. It's Polite Savage. I just saw this preview for Elden Ring, which was totally out of left field. So I actually was stun locked a little bit during when this was actually playing and the Game Awards. So I wanted to do an analysis after about 5,000 hours in Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree, playing through some of these Souls games. So I thought I would go through it. So what I'm going to do, I'll play it the full trailer first, and then I'll just kind of like play it slowly, and we'll go over a little at a time. Check this out. So I know these assets, they are from Elden Ring, from randomizers and randomizing foliage and stuff. So they used a lot of Elden Ring assets here. That's the gate front from main game. I love that, like how they pan out and then they show the character running. I think this is, I'll go over it later. I'm just so excited. That is a new map, I can tell. This is like Lake of Rot 2.0, 3.0. So they said this is a co-op game, so like all this footage is showing multiple players. Player characters. We have the Zamora Warrior. Yep. Zamora Ice Storm.
Tragedy must be averted. And for that, I need your help.
Look at this. It's like Volcano Manor, but this location is I'm most interested in. And this is Storm King, I believe. I'm not super familiar with this boss. Omen, yeah, Omen Killer. Oh my God. Who is this? And he has like a perfumer-like outfit. This is amazing. This atmosphere is just, I can't.
Band together and prepare to claim.
Bound together. It's a like super co-op.
The life of the Night Lord.
Okay. Yo, it's and they have like the violin, the main theme kind of. Oh, beautiful. It's like funny because the Elden Ring is a fantasy game, but it seems like they just took that aspect of it and made it absolutely crazy. So like, let me just go ahead and I'm going to start that over again and we will take a like good look at it. And I'll kind of like stop through as I'm going and kind of comment on things. So when I'm looking at this looks like a whole new map zone. Like, I don't recognize any of this, and these like these mystic kind of soldiers. I was at first thinking that this was the main map, and maybe they had appropriated it, but this looks like a brand new map, specifically because of like these kind of castle assets and how close they are to this water feature. Yep, and this is completely new because of like you can see this tower here. This is where like the memory stone locations are. This, I was first thinking this was the space between the Weeping Peninsula and Limgrave, but nope. And like these like features kind of like growing on the castles. I'm sure there's going to be like lore on that. Yeah, so when I was talking earlier, these assets, like this grass in particular, when I use randomizers to randomize the foliage in the game in itself, I recognize the shading and everything. These assets are, so I think I was trying to think to myself, how did they make Shadow of the Erd Tree and this at the same time? And I'm like, okay, they're using the same assets because, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So when I was watching that part in particular, I was thinking to myself, okay, now they're showing parts of the original Elden Ring map, right? So how are they going to make them different? And if you see in that little clip, you can actually see where they show there's some sort of a mystic light that went over everything and turned it this purple hue color. So this is when I was like, okay, so this is how they're going to make the original map, which I'm thinking they're going to use, but I'm not sure. I'm like, okay, because this is night rain, so it's at night, right? But rain is like the reigning of a king, like a king reigns over an area. At least that's my understanding of it. So it's like taking over the lands between, I think. Yep, it's like, yep. The grace, that's everything. The grace gets dim, and see the purple hue over everything? It's like Saint Trina's sleep color, almost. Okay, this eagle, I think this is going to be our new torrent.
You were chosen.
Check this out. Can you do that? Like, are you going to be able to summon? This is like your mount, so to speak. And I'm thinking okay, so are you going to be able to summon in the air? So it says thrown together by forces, right? That are beyond our control. So there's something that's taking over the land, right? So this is going to be like a whole new lorescape and everything. Yeah, this spider animation though, totally new. I've never seen that in Elden Ring. So there's a lot of animations and stuff that I think are going to be new. Okay, this part is what showed me something. Okay, so this guy here, his face is an eagle. Look at him. There was a... So, I think the characters... See, there's the eagle, this guy. I think you can play maybe a character that's not human. It's like humanoid, but... Okay, so...
Tragedy must be averted.
So everything that I'm seeing now, I'm thinking is pretty much saying that we have to maybe save the lands between. And I'm thinking, what's confusing to me is we're fighting a lot of these legacy things, right? Like the Zamora Ice Warriors, we see the Godric soldiers. So something I think is taking over the lands between, but the main enemies still are there.
And for that, I need your help.
Yeah, this is Torrent. That's our new Torrent. Okay, and if you go back real quick, she's next to something here, right? So I don't know what this is, but it seems like some sort of a spirit tree. My thought is that this eagle, you'll find maybe a location with this, and then it summons the eagle out of it. But I could be totally wrong. Or maybe that's the new grace. Stand tall. Okay, this is a new Noxtella area. This is a Noxtella statue. So you can find these in Noxtella. You can find these in the location with the Nox Dragon King Knight, where you get the lightning incantation. So all the factions are still here, and something's coming after them. Okay, so I played Dark Souls 3, but I got to this boss, and I didn't complete this boss. I believe it's Storm Ruler, but no, Storm King, but I really apologize that I don't know this. I know it can offend people, but I need to find it, but I'm I'm really thinking to myself, are they going to mold Dark Souls lore into Elden Ring?
Little pillager.
Okay, so this, who's talking here? This is Godric.
Bent on sacking the lands of gold, I will swat away any and all who dare approach.
Okay, so the symbolism on the front of this, guys, this is really similar to the perfumers. So I'm not really sure if he's related or not, but this is very perfumer-esque. But I don't know why why is Godric talking to us right now? And how would he be related to this Night Lord? All right, so right here is where gives me the biggest indication of the co-op. So if you notice, in all the scenes, we've seen 3 people. So in Elden Ring, there's the host of fingers, right? And then there's the 2 furled fingers, the cooperators that you summon into your game. So what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking maybe there will be like boss rush modes where you automatically spawn in with 3 random people or your friends. But I love that they're keeping this format, like the 3. My biggest thing is, where are the invaders going to come in? Like, I cannot wait. Is there going to be hunters? Like, is there going to be invaders? I'm seeing a lot of these kind of like battle royale like boss fights, but I just think this has so much potential to have like teams. So you have a team of 3, right? But then there's 3 invaders that come at you.
Band together and prepare to
So this was it. Band together and prepare to claim.
the life of the Night Lord.
So you're banding together, right? So this is a co-op game. I'm thinking there's going to be a single player campaign because I think this is this is an independent game. This isn't a DLC. This is its own game. So I'm thinking there's going to be some sort of a campaign where you can play it single player. It'll probably be extremely difficult, I'm assuming, because it's, the Souls component, right? But I'm not entirely sure, but that's kind of my hypothesis on the game, like the way you can play the game. There's going to be different ways, just like Elden Ring and Dark Souls, where you can play it on your own or you can summon other people. But I really think this is going to have an opportunity for you to like go into a game, randomly generate 3 people, like a group of 3, and then maybe do a boss rush, or you have to clear an entire area, and maybe it's like progressively more difficult until you get to the Night Lord. I'm not really sure. So this, okay, and then when I saw this, I was thinking to myself, okay, see how light the Elden Ring itself is? So this shape comes from the Elden Beast itself. So like when you go to fight the Elden Beast, you'll see he flies up in the air and then he spreads his wings and you see the Elden Ring. Like that is the Elden Ring. But it's different here. It's not the gold, beautiful thing. It has this like crazy wisp over it. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you're definitely battling against something that's claimed the lands between, and tragedy is trying to be prevented, just like that one like lady was saying. But when I was watching it, I had a lot of thoughts. So I definitely wanted to share them. But final thoughts on the whole thing, I'll say, is one thing is, it's made in the same engine, right? So it's going to have similar graphics, which I'm okay with. I don't care. I don't need perfect graphics in like Unreal Engine 5. But the main thing is gameplay, right? Elden Ring gameplay is so specific. Like, when the DLC was coming out, I was concerned the gameplay might be a little different. But no, they preserved the gameplay, Ashes of War, all that stuff, but they gave you an implement, which was the Skidoo tree fragments, and it just increased your attack power. So I'm thinking that this is going to be similar, but it looks like they took the Ashes of War and then they turned it into 100. But also, I think because this is a co-op centric game, I think there's going to be a much heavier aspect that is actually part of like your team. Like you're maybe gonna have like team heals, or maybe your DPS, because I like have a big history in ESO. Like I played the hell out of that game, primarily healer. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, so like there's gonna be maybe a lot of support skills, maybe like someone's gonna be ranged, because in certain scenes you can see like one guy has a spear, one is bow dedicated, and so on and so forth. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be matchmaking, but I'm trying to think to myself, well, how are they going to do this in a way where it's not a linear experience? Like, Elden Ring is open world, but there's still a linear aspect, because each summon sign is dedicated to a specific area, and it blocks off certain areas where you can't go when you're cooperating. So it's like, you know, help the host of fingers defeat the area boss, right? I am really hoping, my biggest hope for this is that you go into an area with 3 people and you have to conquer the entire area first, like beat all the enemies and all that, and then there's like it progressively gets harder and harder, and maybe there's like a big, very cinematic, intense boss at the end. So I think balancing is going to be crazy in this game. It's going to be balanced to a T, where I don't think it's going to be like Elden Ring, where you go in the boss room and like if you have the right build, you can just decimate the boss. You cannot do that in co-op games like this. It has to be balanced in a way so the fight is satisfying, the fight lasts a long enough time that makes it satisfying, and so on and so forth. And that is the one thing I really think. Like, Elden Ring is a masterpiece. It's my favorite game. I've put thousands of hours into it, but the only thing I'll say is that when you co-op with people, it's very unpredictable. If you're not with your friends, and I'm sorry to say it, but a lot of people don't have friends that they can just invite in to play with. So a lot of people invite random people into their group to defeat bosses. And a lot of players come in with an OP build and they just absolutely decimate the boss. So then the person's experience is really diminished. And like, you know, FromSoft, bosses is the game. Like, I don't know, the high point of the game is the boss fights. So I don't know, for me, I play Elden Ring specifically because of how cinematic it is. So if I could have an experience, a co-op experience that's balanced in a way where I don't have to worry about, you know what I mean, someone maybe coming in and like 3-shotting the boss, but it's balanced in a way that I can have a satisfying, progressively difficult, maybe boss rush experience that's, you know, paced, where like you're not going to go in there and just kill the boss. Like, you're going to go in there and it's going to be a good 3 to 5 minute fight, if not longer. So, you know what? I'm so excited. I had to just do a little bit of an analysis, and I hope you're excited too. Comment, you know, what you're thinking, what you're excited about, but I can't wait to go back to the Lands Between or wherever we're going in this, and I'm so excited that it's coming out in 2025. It's like right around the corner. So I'm anticipating maybe like a summer launch. I'm not really sure, but yo, let's go. But adios, be well, don't take life too seriously, and I'll see you in the next one.
Any and all who dare approach.
Band together and prepare to claim.